Hello again, I'm Sharon Braxton, your host from Braxton TV, and I'm sitting here with John Carlos, and I am speaking with him about his teenage years. A lot of people know John from being an Olympian, and track and field is like the main thing that people know him from. So there is so much more to this man. So you wanted to be a swimmer. That was your first
That was my
choice,
first love.
right?
That was my first love. I was a good swimmer. I always like to say I was the best New York Harlem bathtub swimmer. Swam in the Hudson River quite a bit, swam in the Harlem River quite a bit. But when I was younger, I heard them talking about an individual swimming the English Channel. I didn't have a clue what the English Channel was, and I inquired from my dad, what's the English Channel? He explained what it was. Or why would they swim it? Did they get a dollar? Did they break a record? Did they get the name of the paper? And he told me all of the above. And I asked him, well, how do you swim with sharks in the water? You swim with a knife in your mouth? What do you do when you have to go to the restroom? So I'm trying to learn this because I'm going to swim in a minute, the English Channel. and then I heard of this thing called the Olympic Games. And I asked him, what was that? And he told me, he said that that's where the greatest athletes in the world come together to see who's more physically fit and mentally fit for the competition. So now I switched, I want to go to the Olympic Games. Daddy, have they ever had a black swimmer to represent America in the water? No, son. I'm going to be the first, Dad.
See, he was destined for greatness.
And I remember my dad telling me after a while, maybe a year or so later, he told me, he said, son, that's never going to happen. And I said, why? And he rubbed his skin. Tell me, basically the color of your skin will not allow you to go in. And then down the line I hear, white people used to say that blacks couldn't swim because we had too much lead in our pores, and other people talking about we have a tail and all sorts of things like that, to discourage you from actually pursuing what maybe God had intended for you.
And you also wanted to be a boxer.
Well, I was a boxer. I was a young Golden Gloves boxer. My mom was the one that taught me how to box, and I was her baby son, and she had a concern as to me getting hurt in the ring. And I remember I told my mom, I said, Mom, I'm just out trying to make $1 million. If I make $1 million, they would have to spend $110 million to find me, because I know what to do. But my mom asked me, pretty much had me promise her that I would leave boxing alone, which it took a lot out of me because I wanted to box so much. It's like when you tell a kid they can't do anything, your Adam's apple stick out so far you can hardly breathe. It was one of those moves.
But you had to listen to Mom.
I love my mom, and I'm going to abide by her wishes as best I can.
And usually moms are right. So there you have it, his teenage years. John Carlos, the great Olympian. And I'm signing off, but I will be back.